I've watched a lot of people move to Myrtle Beach over the years. Most of them get it right, but some of them make the same handful of mistakes over and over again. None of these are disasters. Nobody's move gets ruined, but these are the things that turn an exciting relocation into a frustrating one. And every single one of them is completely avoidable if you know to watch for it. So today, I'm walking you through the mistakes I see most often, the ones I genuinely wish someone had warned my clients about before they made them, so you don't have to learn the hard way. Quick note, my contact info and a link to book a call are in the description and pinned in the comments. Now, let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Here's how it usually happens. Someone visits in March, April, or October. The weather is perfect, traffic is light, the beach is practically empty. They fall in love, and honestly, who wouldn't? But Myrtle Beach in March and Myrtle Beach in July are genuinely different versions of the same place. Summer brings vacation traffic. Certain roads get busy in a way they simply aren't the rest of the year. Popular restaurants have a wait. Parking near the beach takes more patience. The whole energy of the area shifts with the tourist season. None of that is actually a bad thing. It's part of what gives this area the restaurants, the entertainment, and the amenities that a lot of small towns simply don't have. But you need to fall in love with the real full version of this place, not just the version you happen to see on one quiet visit. If at all possible, before you buy, try to experience at least one summer weekend here, even if it's just a few days. Drive the roads you'd actually drive every week, eat at the restaurants you'd actually frequent, see what a Saturday in the middle of July actually feels like. It's the difference between buying a fantasy and buying a life you've genuinely tried on. Mistake number 2. If you've lived in your home for 20, 25, 30 years, this move is not just a real estate transaction. It's deconstructing decades of memories, cleaning out an attic full of things you forgot you even kept, going through closets, garages, basements, deciding what comes with you and what doesn't. Selling the house where you raised your kids, where the holidays happened, where you became who you are now, that is physically exhausting, and it is emotionally exhausting in a way that catches people off guard. The mistake I see most often is people underestimating how much time and energy that part of the process actually takes. They budget plenty of time for finding the new home, they research neighborhoods, they compare floor plans, but they don't budget nearly enough time for letting go of the old one. My advice? Give yourself more runway than you think you need for the purge. Start earlier than feels necessary, and be gentle with yourself about how hard it actually is, because it is hard, even when it's exciting. This isn't just moving boxes, it's moving a chapter of your life. Treat it like that, not like a logistics problem to be solved in a single weekend. Mistake number 3. And this is the big one. This is without question the single most common mistake I see out-of-state buyers make. They find a beautiful home, great kitchen, great layout, maybe a pool, maybe a view, and they buy it without stopping to ask themselves whether the community around it actually fits how they want to spend their days. A gorgeous house in a golf course community is the wrong house for someone who doesn't golf and actually wanted a walkable social neighborhood. A gorgeous house on a quiet, private cul-de-sac is the wrong house for someone who wanted a packed social calendar and neighbors stopping by constantly. The house is not the lifestyle. The house simply sits inside the lifestyle. And the order matters. Before you ever fall in love with a specific home, get clear on the answers to a few honest questions first. Do you want to walk to restaurants and shops? Or do you want quiet and privacy? Do you want an amenity-packed community with a clubhouse and a full activities calendar? Or something simpler and low-key? Do you want to be a 15-minute drive from the beach? Or does walking distance to the beach genuinely matter to you? Get those answers first, then go look at houses, not the other way around. Mistake number 4. This one is closely related to the March vacation trap, but it goes a step further. A vacation is not a trial run. On vacation, you're not living, you're escaping. The mistake is skipping the version of a visit that actually mirrors what your daily life would look like. If you can, rent a place for a month before you buy, not a hotel, an actual rental in the area you're seriously considering. go to the grocery store you'd actually shop at every week, drive to a doctor's appointment, sit in actual rush hour traffic, not vacation traffic, go to a yoga class or a pickleball meetup, and see if you genuinely click with the people there. If a full month isn't realistic, even a long weekend spent living like a local, not a tourist, tells you more than a dozen vacations ever will. The goal isn't to fall in love with a postcard, it's to fall in love with the Tuesday. Mistake number 5. This one happens constantly, and most buyers have no idea it's even a mistake. Here's the pattern. Someone's browsing Zillow or Realtor.com late at night. They see a home they love, and right there on the listing is a phone number, so they call it. That number belongs to the listing agent. And the listing agent has a fiduciary responsibility, a legal duty of loyalty to the seller, not to you. That means their job is to get the seller the best possible price and the best possible terms. That's not a criticism of them. That's literally their job. But it means their loyalty in that transaction benefits the seller, not you. And there's a second problem here, which might actually matter even more. That listing agent does not know you. They don't know your priorities. They don't know your personality. They don't know your timeline or what you're trying to walk away from or what you're hoping this next chapter looks like. And because their listing is in one specific neighborhood, they're not going to give you a full view of everything the Grand Strand offers. 60 miles of communities, each with a different personality. They're going to show you their listing. A buyer's agent works differently. Their job is to represent you, your interests, your priorities, your full range of options across the entire market, not just one listing. And here's the part that genuinely surprises people. In the vast majority of transactions, the seller covers all or most of the buyer's agent compensation. It's not required. Every transaction is negotiated, but it is by far the most common arrangement in this market. So, in most cases, you can have someone fully representing you, your priorities, and your interests without it costing you out of pocket. Call your own agent first. Let them set up the showings. That's what protects you. So, mistake number 6. This one is less exciting to talk about than neighborhoods or houses, but it might be the most important mistake on this entire list. Let's start with the mortgage piece. If you're planning to get a mortgage for your new home here, lenders are looking very closely at your debt-to-income ratio. So here's a mistake I see more often than you think. Someone retires or leaves their job before they've actually closed on their mortgage. And suddenly, without that income on paper, they don't qualify for the loan they were counting on. If financing is part of your plan, talk to your lender before you make any decisions about your job or your timeline. Get pre-approved, understand exactly what they need to see from you and when. Now, let's talk about using the proceeds from the sale of your current home. If you're planning to use that money towards your purchase here, sellers are going to want to see that your home up north is at least under contract before they'll agree to a purchase agreement with you. And here's something worth understanding about negotiating power. The closer that sale is to closing, the stronger your position is. Cash in hand is the strongest position you can possibly be in. A signed contract is good. A pending sale that's about to close is better. An accepted offer that's still early in the process is weaker. Knowing where you stand matters enormously when you're trying to compete for the right home. And now the part I really want you to pay very close attention to. Know well ahead of time exactly how you're going to transfer your funds for the purchase of a home here. I've had buyers assume they could simply wire money from their bank up north directly to the closing attorney down here. They could not. In the last 18 months, I've had 2 separate transactions come within hours of not closing on time. One involved a bank in New York and the other a bank in Cape Cod because of exactly this issue. Banks have limits. Banks have verification steps. Some transfers take longer than buyers expect. And closing day is not the day you want to discover that your funds aren't going to arrive in time. Talk to your banker or your financial planner well before closing. Find out exactly how and exactly when those funds need to move. This is not a step to leave until the last minute. It's one phone call that can protect your entire closing day. This last one is the mistake with the highest cost, even though it usually starts with someone trying to save time or avoid feeling like a burden. I see buyers try to manage their entire relocation alone, researching neighborhoods from Facebook groups, trying to time the market themselves, avoiding professional help entirely. Here's what actually happens instead. They miss the nuance that only comes from someone who's done this dozens of times. Things like flood zones, roofing age, hurricane season timing, the things we covered in my last video. They end up overwhelmed trying to coordinate a sale up north with a purchase down here with no one helping sequence the timing. And often they end up isolated, moving into a neighborhood with no introduction to the social fabric that makes this place so special. So this really isn't about saving money by going alone. It's about whether you have someone genuinely in your corner or whether you're figuring it out by yourself from 1,000 miles away. So, 7 mistakes. Don't fall in love with the easiest week of the year. Give yourself real time for the emotional weight of the purge. Choose the lifestyle first, then the house. Test drive a Tuesday, not just a vacation. Call your own agent, not the one on the Zillow listing. Plan your financing and your funds transfer well before closing day. And don't go it alone. None of these are complicated. They just require a little intention and maybe a guide who's seen them happen before. That's exactly what I'm here for. If you recognized yourself in any of these, no judgment, we've all been there. Let's talk it through. My contact info and a link to book a free call are in the description and pinned in the comments. And if this was helpful, please save it and share it with someone who's just starting this process. I'll see you in the next one.